All right, here's the last lesson of Algebra 2, right here, 6.3, Part 3. Still working with logarithms. I want to focus on this top portion here, everything right here. By the definition of a logarithm, it follows that the logarithmic function g of x equals log base b of x. This is what the form we've been working with. Okay? Is the inverse of the exponential function b to the x. This means, here's what it means. Pay attention to this next part. If you have log base b, and b is the same number, so b log base b of b to the x right here, it works as an inverse. So this whole thing, log base b of b, cancels out, and we're left with just x. Okay. Same thing goes for here. If we have b raised to the log base b of x, works as an inverse, we're left with just x. Okay, so it should not be too difficult. I know this wording is a little intimidating, but don't worry. We'll get down here doing some problems. Here, first one. We have 10 raised to the log base 10 of 4. So everything with the 10 all cancels out. We're left with the answer 4. Right there. Same with this next one. 4 raised to the log base 4 of 2x. What are we left with? 2x. 22x raised to the log base of 22x. What are we left with? 17. There's our answer. Okay, so should not be too bad. And now we have log base 3 of 3 raised to the second power. So this whole thing cancels out. What are we left with? 2. This next one, log base 5 of 25 raised to the x. So this one is a little different. It's a little different. But watch how I manipulate this logarithm in order to use the same rule I was just using. 5 and 25 go hand in hand. Right? It's actually 5 times 5, or 5 squared. So I'm going to rewrite this. Log base 5 of 5 squared to the x. Okay, now, we've done this stuff before. We've had exponents outside of parentheses. And what do we do with these exponents? We multiply it, right? So really we have log base 5 of 5. Ooh, I don't want that parenthesis anymore. And I just got rid of it. Of 5 to the 2x. Now look what I can get rid of. These 5's cancel out. What's left? 2x. Come on. This next one, log base 3 of 9, I'm going to do the same thing. Log base 3 of 3 squared. Everything cancels out. What's left? 2. That is my final answer. Anytime you have e and natural log, they act as inverses. So e to the natural log of 5, just ignore it. What's left? 5. E and natural log cancel each other out. Same here. Natural log and e, what's left? 32x. Don't need to know why right now, just that they act as inverses. Down here, just some reminders from last week. And was it the week before we started logarithms? Well, anyway, we want to rewrite these in exponential form. We start with this base, and we do the loop. 8 to the third equals 512. Same with this one. Start with the base to the equal, so 1 to the first equals 1. Last one, start with the base 25 to the 1/2 equals 5. right? That's rewriting in exponential form. Now I want to take and write these logarithmic forms into, these exponential forms and write it in logarithmic form. So remember, start with the word log. The base is the same base here. So log base 6 of 216 always equals our exponent 3. Done. Next one. Log of 0.25 of 0.0625 equals 2. The next one, log base 7 of 49 equals 2. And down here we want to simplify using our exponent rules. We have e to the 4th times e to the 20th. That's really just e times e times e times e times, and then 20 more e's. You'll finally get e to the 24th. There's 24, it will be 24 e's if you wrote it all out. Next, we have 4e to the 5th divided by 2e to the 12th. I like to write these as a fraction. It helps me see what I have to do. I'm always going to start with my whole numbers here. Can I simplify 4 over 2? Yeah, 4 over 2 is really just 2. And then, like e to the 5th over e to the 12th. Well, that's really 2e to the negative 7th. Well, I can't have a negative exponent, so I'm going to throw that e on bottom. 2 over e to the 7th. Okay. And then I have the square root of 925 for some reason. Don't really know why. So right now, I'm just going to ignore that problem. I'm going to figure out what the heck that means. Okay. Right now, I'm just going to, I think I wrote it wrong. So I'll go in and fix that problem. And yeah, that's the end of the last lesson.